What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. The unthinkable has happened. The other day, T-Pain went on Instagram and Twitter and teased this cover that said T-Wayne, half Wayne face, half Pain face. And this is their long lost album that they were working on back in 2009. And for whatever reason, Pain said, I want to get these off of my hard drive. I want the fans to hear this music. And so that's exactly what he did. We have 8 songs that make up what would have eventually gone on to be the T-Wayne album. And so I wanted to review it. I wanted to talk about it because it's just amazing. Like, I love the way that this all happened. Just Pain comes out, says I got these songs, and actually releases them. It makes me want Joel Santana to do the same thing, because I know there's still some I Can't Feel My Face records that we don't have. About half of these songs have already been out on the internet. You know, back in 2009, Lil Wayne leaks were so common, they just were all over the place. And so about half of these songs were out. But now we have everything in a nice quality. Everything sounds like it's mixed. Firstly, this T-Wayne project made me realize how much I missed The Business. Remember The Business? They had one hell of a run as a production duo. And so hearing their tag again was like, it's nostalgic. You're like, oh man, where have these guys been? It's been so long since I heard a tag from them. It's like they were all over the place, all over Lil Wayne and Drake and, you know, just the industry in general. And then they just disappeared. I have Henny on Facebook, on my deactivated one, but Dow Jones, he just kind of like up and disappeared. I don't know where he went. They haven't used the Twitter in over 2 or 3 years, so I'm glad that T-Pain was able to bring these joints out because I love The Business production. You can really hear the fun and collaborative elements in these songs. Like, it wasn't just, oh, drop a verse on this, or, you know, go and record your verse, I'll record mine. No, you have them kind of like interacting with each other on certain songs and making it feel like they were actually like together in the booth recording these, just having fun. Like, they really had some amazing chemistry. Now let me talk about my favorite song, starting off with Snap Your Fingers. This is one of the songs that came out years ago, but I never really appreciated it. I look at it like if T-Wayne actually became a thing, if the album came out in retail stores and it had an album campaign behind it, Snap Your Fingers would be that song that would be all over the Billboard charts. It's really screaming to be a hit. It almost sucks listening to it in 2017 and realizing that it will never have the shot to be on the Billboard charts because it is ridiculously good. In many ways, it's not a T-Wayne joint. It's more of like a T-Pain single featuring Lil Wayne. Loud Whisper Wheezy, which is totally a new nickname that I just came up with for him, comes through with a very minimal verse. It's like 8 to 10 bars max. He even says that if he had more room, he would be snapping on this song. Like, the verse isn't bad, but it's also not one of those, Shawn Michaels super kick verses where he just steals the show. No, but it fits the song. It's nice. But I do wish that, like, T-Pain didn't want to overpower it because I feel like Wayne could have really did something special on this song. The other song on my favorites list is Heavy Chevy. T-Pain brings Lil Wayne into the Chevy culture of Florida. This right here is the last song on the project, but it might be the peak of creativity for these two. In the intro, they're interacting, they're having a conversation. I'm going to show you about, my culture. You've been in Florida for a minute. This is it. And then he goes in and talks about his Chevys. And then Wayne comes through and he really emulates that. Like, that's the thing that I always liked about Wayne, is that he was able to adapt. He was able to sound like he's supposed to fit in anywhere. So this might be a concept that T-Pain pitched to him, and Wayne was like, okay, I can do this. And he comes through with a great verse. This verse really showed off the charisma that he had in, 2009, 2008-ish, like that time period. He says, now I got a honey SS, I call it Cheerio, but my neighbors call it please turn down the stereo. And I like that he amplifies that. He yells that part, please turn down the stereo. And so that goes back to like that charisma. Wayne was on another planet when he was making these verses. And so I really like that we got this. Like this nostalgia feeling listening to these old Wayne songs. T-Pain as well. T-Pain is no slouch. I would say that T-Pain really hasn't had a quality dip like Wayne. If you listen to a T-Pain song in 2017, it's not like too bad. It's clear that he's not in his prime, but it's nowhere near the fall that Wayne has had as an artist, in my opinion. That's just me. Now let me talk about my least favorite song, and it's surprising to have that, but my least favorite song isn't even a collaboration record. The song is titled Oh Yeah. It's just a minute-long T-Pain rapping verse. I can only assume that the two wanted to finish the song but never got around to it. And so it just happened to be in the folder that T-Pain had, and he wanted to give it to the fans anyway. But in my opinion, it just doesn't do anything for the project. I think this one was better left off the project. Listening to this T-Wayne project was refreshing. I love being able to hear this unreleased music from two artists that I really loved growing up. Hearing them in their prime again. The only thing that I have that makes me sad about listening is that I want more. We only got 8 songs, 7 if you don't count Oh Yeah. And, we heard some of these songs and we're getting like reacquainted with these songs. But I want more. I wish there was a way that they had recorded more. Kind of in the way that like Joel Santana and Wayne have so much material together. But I get it. 2009 was kind of rocky for Wayne. He was going through, the legal issues and a whole bunch of other things were going on. He was still in the prime of his career, so we can't just like sit down and focus and knock out 50 songs with T-Pain. You can add these songs into a playlist and then go and grab the other records that these two have done over the years. Got Money, Can't Believe It, and the other ones that they have. And put them all together and you pretty much have a full-length album. So the last thing I could say is thank you, T-Pain. Really, honestly, truly, thank you for giving us this music. A lot of artists would not be doing this. I don't know if he just did this because he wanted to, or if this was like some kind of marketing ploy for Lil Wayne, because he needs all of it until he can get off Cash Money and drop the Carter 5 and, have his freedom again. But regardless what the reason is, this was a treat. So those are my thoughts on the T-Wayne project. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Are you feeling these songs? Would you have wanted to see a full album from these two? Talk to me in the comment section below. Then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter @SermonsDomain, and as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching, and until next time, peace.